Every year, you tell yourself you're going to make it happen. You're going to start that business, make more money, get that promotion, lose that weight, get in better shape. And every single time, there's these challenges and issues that come up against you and pull you off course. Stuff starts not going your way. You run into problems, so you quit, you give up, you throw in the towel and you say, who cares? It's not worth it. But you have to remember in that moment, that is a choice you are making. And if you're gonna make it to the next level of your life, you've got to decide to be unstoppable. You have to have mental toughness. You got to have a level of grit that says that you will not be denied.
Life ain't about medals, ain't about certificates, it ain't about houses, money, cars, fame, all that bull. It's about scars. The scars show your willingness to get to the other side. They show your failures. They show your willingness to start from scratch. They show what you're willing to do to go the distance, to see what you're capable of.
Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. The elevator don't go to the top, man. Stop trying to do everything the short way. Stop trying to figure out the easy way, because ain't gonna happen. You got to get messed up sometime. You gotta get your feelings hurt. You gotta get disappointed. You gotta get told no. You gonna ask somebody for some money. He gonna tell you no. That's life. And so every time something get hard, you quit, you call mama. I dare you to take a little pain. Somebody said, I gotta go home, I feel bad. Go through it. At the end of pain is success. You're not gonna die because you feeling a little pain.
And that's what this world's come to. Every time they try something, it doesn't go their way, they look for a complaining buddy. Well, guess what? Life is hard. You gotta find yourself in the grind, the grit, and you gotta find yourself doing what no one else wants you to do. And whenever it sucks, you gotta just keep working.
I guarantee you cannot pass it if you quit, but you don't know what's gonna happen if you keep going. I don't care what I've been through personally. I don't care if our family members die. I can't let that bother me. I can't let that hurt me. But I still gotta perform. So you gotta execute. See, many start, ladies and gentlemen, but few finish because they say, well, it was hard, and they stop. They take that as a stop sign as opposed to a growth sign.
But as stuff gets progressively harder, when you have to go 1, 2, 3 years without a paycheck, everybody else quits during that time. So by default, 10, 12, 13 years in, I'm standing higher than everybody just because I didn't quit. It's learning how to endure, learning how to reframe frustration and seeing it as a driver for your success. Every single path is going to be hard. Struggle, pain, misery, frustration, those are signs that you are on the right path and making progress. Nobody that is where you want to be has gotten there without these struggles, without the bleeding, without the pain, without the depression, without the misery.
You don't know what's ahead of you, and that 70% you giving right now, a trial or a tribulation might come. A storm might be coming, and it's gonna break you if you're at 60. As you're going through, you're going through it. You ready to quit, you ready to give up, you ready to give in. It doesn't look like you think. You didn't get the grades you thought you were gonna get, so maybe I'm not meant to be a lawyer. You put too much in it to quit now? Mental toughness. It is in those times we have to be stronger than we've ever been before. We can, we will, and we must get through this. Lay hold of it. And when that thing tells you to quit, you look at it in his eye and say, I ain't going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will not destroy us. You will not defeat us. This will make us stronger. I'll go quicker. I'll go harder. I'll go longer. I'll go faster. I need mental toughness. And I'm telling you, when you come up against that thing, you gotta outdo that thing. And you can't do it when you get there. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to that exam and pass that exam. You gotta make up in your mind when you're talking to your husband, when you're talking to your wife, when you're talking to that singer. You gotta look at it before you even get to it. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how difficult it is. Never give up and never give in, because some skill not gonna get you to certain things, but phenomenal will allow you to get through everything. As long as you got breath in your nostril, don't you ever give in, because I never told you it would be easy. But with mental toughness, you can get it done.
Sometimes life will take you to your knees. Sometimes you have to cry. Sometimes will hurt deep inside. In time of adversity, you don't have an obstacle to deal with.
You have a choice to make.
You can suffer, or you can choose to do whatever you need to do to liberate yourself, whatever you need to do to reinvent yourself, whatever you need to do to overcome whatever you are stuck in right now. It does not have to be your residency.
You keep standing. No matter how rough the sea, you keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up. You keep standing. No matter what.
You got to be bold in life, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not bold, if you're not standing up inside yourself, if you're not willing to call into being the highest and the strongest that's within you when you're facing life's challenges, life will trample you. But see, when you discover the truth of this goodness, this power that you have within you, that truth will set you free from ever being a victim in life. That truth will enable you to handle things with a level of equanimity that will surprise you. Getting unstuck means that you are going to start living life on your terms, rather than just gliding through every day on automatic. That you have a special power within, that you know that things are going to get better for you. You know that you can handle this. And because you want some different kind of results in your life, you've got to decide that I'm going to go all out.
We decide which moments define us. Will it be the moment we get knocked down? Or will it be the moment when we get back up? This is when we show the world what we're made of. Listen to me, you can't give up. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But if life's got you down, I need you to get up and prove them wrong.
People who operate in darkness, they are relentless. They never stop. And we have to make it our full-time job to fight back. You got to put your foot down. You got to get an attitude. You got to get fired up.
You got to get up, look at the man in the mirror and go, this is what I'm doing today, whether they like it or not. I don't, everybody's focusing on the stupidity things that they got on the news. Don't watch the news no more. I give you the real news. You know what the news is about today? You and how you're going to conquer the world.
And don't be disturbed because no one else can see it. That's not unusual. You've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside.
You need to change on how you look at the people, what they say to you. You gotta start armoring your mind. Start preparing yourself for what's out here in life. Build confidence. Build self-esteem. So when people talk to you, it doesn't matter.
That's great power in adversity. If you're a victim of any kind, make sure you use that to become successful.
It's about going that extra step when you feel like you can't. That's what builds self-respect, self-esteem, self-discipline, all those things. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours.
Everybody has a defining moment. Whatever your defining moment is, own it. And say to yourself, after today, I will do whatever it takes to become everything I can become.
You can't quit now. I don't care if you don't have the money, and you don't have the help, and you don't have the family for it, and you don't have the friends for it. You cannot quit. You might have to make adjustments. You might have to find another way. You might have to learn new things. You might not move as quick. You might not have as much, but you cannot quit.
If I was gonna quit, I would have quit a long time ago. I've come too far for that now. I will not be defeated. And I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through, no matter the price.
You could get through this, because you bigger than this, you better than this, you tougher than this. And when you get to the other side, you're gonna be better, you're gonna be bigger, you're gonna be bolder.
A person's character is not judged when they ride the wave of success, when everyone chants their name and you want to be their friend. No, your character is put to the test when your back is against the wall.
Somebody told you it was over. Somebody sent you home. Somebody told you you'll never be a doctor. They sent you home, you failed. Never give up. You don't give up on me. You don't quit on me. You man up, you woman up, you get your life back. When you come up against that thing, I'll do that thing. And you can't do it when you get there. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to cancer. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to that exam and pass that exam. You gotta make up in your mind when you're talking to your husband, when you're talking to your wife, when you're talking to that sickness. You gotta look at it before you even get to it, so don't you ever give up.
Failure has made me who I am today. Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up. Well, I'm up and I am fired up because I have figured it out.
You're gonna make it. In fact, you're gonna be better.
When life knocks your butt down, I need you to get back up and I need you to go heavy. When uncertainty creeps in, I need you to get up and get right back on the thing that knocked you off and I need you to go heavy on it. When something doesn't turn out the way you wanted to turn out, I need you to attack the very thing that didn't turn out the way that you wanted to turn out, and I need you to go heavy on it. You don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing to invest in.
When people die or people get sick or something happens in your life, if all you're doing it for is a car and a house, that can stop you. But if you're doing it for your mom, for your siblings, for your family, for your community, nothing can stop you. You cannot be broken. When you have an intrinsic goal, when you're doing it because you value it, when you're doing it because you can, when you're doing it because it represents who you are, when it's internal, no mountain, no trial, no tribulation, nothing can stop you.
And no matter what you walk through, no matter how broken your life is right now, no matter how many times you failed, there's a power within you that's stronger than whatever's going on around you. So I'm not retreating, I'm not running, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna win.
I got here not because I'm the strongest, not because I'm the fastest, not because I'm the best, but I kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And I just made up in my mind, I'm gonna get through this. You are not gonna stop me. I got too far. I've come too far to give up now.
Regardless of what happens to you in life, regardless of the adversity, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the trials and tribulations, nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you.
You want affirmation? Look yourself in the mirror and say, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I know I can. Do whatever it takes. You your biggest driver.
I don't have that natural beauty or that natural talent or this gift for creativity or intellect or humor. I don't have any of those things. But what I got is I will outwork you. When it's 45 on the treadmill, I do 46. When it's supposed to be 20 phone calls, I make 21. When it's supposed to be an 8-hour workday, I work 9. Whatever it is, I always do one more. And what that does is it makes me eventually think I'm doing things other people aren't willing to do, so I should get things other people aren't going to get.
You've got to understand, it's not about what you were born with. It's not about what you were given, where you started, or even where you're going. It is entirely about what you plant at the center of your soul. How hard you're willing to go after something, how much focus you're willing to put in your life, and how often you come back to that level of intensity for who you want to be.
You have to make a decision that nobody in your position will outwork you.
Some people run faster, swim better, but mentality is mentality. You're not gonna outwork me, so I'm gonna catch up somewhere.
If you are not that talented, you can beat them with time. You can get to the spot before they get to the spot. I do things to separate myself from everybody else. The passion that I have, the grind that I have when I do what I do. I got a different motor. I got a different grind.
I'm always gonna give it my 110%. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work. If you guys do not do that, I promise you, your life will haunt you for the rest of your days.
From today on, you play whatever your best game is, you play that level every single time. It doesn't mean you're going to score every time, but you can always give 120% effort. You can't dictate what kind of game you're going to have. You can't dictate how your body is going to respond to moving around, but you can dictate your effort. Your dream comes when you push. Ain't nobody gonna give you no cookies and ice cream. Push. It's alive. It's inside. How do you know you feel it? You dream about it. You eat and sleep it every day. So push. Just push past the pain. Push. Don't quit. Push. And you push your way to success. You have a chance to control your destiny. All of us are created equal. Some of us just work harder. Some of us just grind. Some of us don't make excuses. Some of us don't give up and give in. What we do with the pressure is we say, I gotta take it, and I gotta take it to another level. You get a breakthrough when you fight. That's the hardest part, because the breakthrough, that last 10%, is all mental toughness.
It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. It's within you. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us.
For some of you, your problem is there's some stuff you don't want to give up to go up. There's certain things you cannot get. There's certain levels you can't go to. There's certain things you can't be. When you're not committed and when you don't feel like doing it, guess what happened? You don't do it.
What's in your head is the voice of weakness and laziness, saying you don't need to go hard, saying you can take the day off. You got another voice in your head It's asking you a question. It's asking you, what could you be? What could you be if you worked as hard as you could? What could you be if you imposed real discipline in your life? What could you be?
With that demon voice that whispers in your ear that says, get up, you're not good enough. You gotta work harder. You haven't put enough time in. We don't like that feeling. We don't like that challenge. We like that person who says, hey, it's okay, brother. We'll take a day off. Man, we'll get a pizza and watch the game. We like that. We love that feeling. Why? Because you understand, man, we're good, bro. That's the mediocrity of life. We don't want that. It was like this. Hey, man, no, bro. Get your on, man. Stop being a punk. We don't want that in our lives. We don't want that person who's constantly challenging our weaknesses. It's that voice you don't want to hear. But guess what? It's that voice you need to listen to.
I don't know where you're gonna end up if you implement discipline into your life. If you start lining up tasks and smashing them. If you start aggressively pursuing your goals. I don't know where it's gonna end up. But you know what? I got an idea. Let's find out. Let's find out where it ends up. Let's find out where it goes when you implement discipline in your life and you start getting after it.
I'm talking about being self-regulated, where you don't need nobody to wake you up in the morning. You don't need no alarm clock. You don't need a teacher telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing.
You need to work harder. You need to discipline your mind better. And so many people just want it the easy way. We put a governor on our brain, the second we feel pain, discomfort, suffering, we slow down, we stop.
You want a bad life? Then we gotta have hardcore rules. No weakness. Everybody has 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts going through their mind a day. Now, the thoughts you had yesterday, you think those same thoughts are gonna come today? Yes. You know why? Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. You wanna know why your mindset's not changing? You wanna know why your beliefs not changing? Because you have the same record playing in your head every day about how today's gonna go.
Every day when you wake up, you got two options. You can look at the clock and hit the snooze. You can look at that snooze button, boom. You can hit the snooze button and go back to bed and dream about what you want to have. Right there with your comfortable pillow, you dreaming about what you want to be. Or you can look at that snooze button, kick that clock and get up and go pursue your dreams. And when you embrace the grind will reward you.
Whatever you put into something's whatever you get out of it. But some of you think something gets better by bitching and whining and complaining and feeling like a little victim. You could have been that guy that had the six-pack, the back car, all the money in the bank. All you needed was that discipline to lock it in. So as I'm talking to you, you can make excuses or you can own all.
But if you ain't working for it like that, it don't mean that. You don't really want it. You gotta work. People say, man, how'd you get so big? Because I knew my goal. I knew what I wanted to be. I ruled my body. I run my body. I tell my body what it wants to eat. I work out even when I don't feel like it. I work out because it's not what I do. It's who I am. So if you want to be successful, you gotta rule yourself.
You have to make a list of the things that you don't like to do. If you don't like making calls, the very first thing you should do, call a lot. Guess what happens? You get over it. You have to triple down on your weaknesses and make that become where you start to guide yourself. Okay, I don't like calling. Today I'm making 100 calls. I'm gonna dial 100 times. And when you do that, that's where you grow. It sucks, but you have to continue to fight and move on. Nothing is easy, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes. And every day you wake up, it sucks. And when it's over, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. And as you get going, every step you take in that journey, you're beating the demon again.
Well, what do you do on the days that you don't feel like? Every day I feel like. Every day I feel like eating. Every day I feel like giving my wife the best life. Every single day of my life, I feel like giving 120. Every single day. It's because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. I've been getting up so early for so long. I've dominated my sleep pattern. I've dominated my laziness. I've dominated procrastination. That when I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, my body just click at 3 o'clock in the morning. Discipline. Discipline is you do it so long and so hard and you're so passionate about it that even when you don't feel like it, you still operate at the highest level. No more 50%. No more 70%. No more. I want you at 85 and climbing. And I mean moving rapidly. And I know if you guys operate off 120 with the spirit that you have, it's going to be on a whole nother level. Everybody wants to be a beast. Everybody wants to succeed. The challenge becomes that most of us, when it's time to do what beasts do, we don't do it.
Anybody can go to the gym when they feel like going to the gym. Anybody could show up to work and give 100% when they feel good about what they're working on. But what makes successful people successful is what they do when they don't feel like it.
I find it amazing how a cat can say they want something. A cat can say, man, I'm all in with you, let's ride. And then conditions and circumstance change. And the words that they once spoke means nothing to them. Like commitment is staying true to what you said you was true to long after the mood that you set it in has left. Meaning on the days when we don't feel like doing what we once said we was going to do, we going to step up and we going to do it anyway because those are the days that build character.
Get over your feelings, because feelings go up and down. For some of you, you're too seasonal. When you're excited, the first week, the first month, the first 3 months when you got that job, you were excited, and so you was putting forth effort. You were there on time. You was leaving late. You was doing everything they told you. Now you got comfortable, and you're not excited no more. And guess what happened? Your effort has gone down. Your problem is you know what your best is, but you can't produce it consistently. You're your biggest problem. Everything is external that moves you. Now I want you to start moving yourself internally. I want you to be able to push your buttons. You control your feelings. Don't nobody else control your feelings. So when you tell me I ain't feeling it no more, it don't got nothing to do with something external. It's something internal that you ain't pushing no more. You don't have to be excited. You made a commitment to that job. And commitment said, I don't care how I feel. I don't care if I'm excited. I don't care if I'm pumped up. I don't care if I'm fired up. I'm doing this because I made a commitment. Now it's time to put up. It's easier to watch greatness. It's easier to go see greatness than it is to put in the time, to put in the energy, to discipline yourself, to sacrifice. It's easier. And so that's why you average. That's why you don't want to wake up in the morning. That's why you pissed off with Monday, because Monday is the day that you're supposed to go mold and shape and create your greatness. That's why you like Friday. I get it. Because Friday you get to chill. You don't have to face yourself on Friday. You don't have to face yourself on Saturday, on Sunday. That's the day that everybody is partying, everybody's drunk, everybody gets to forget that they didn't become who they were supposed to come during the week. That's why. But I challenge you. I challenge you to go from average. I challenge you to go from good. I challenge you to go from great. And I challenge you to be phenomenal. I can't make you stop hitting the snooze button. I can't make you wake up. But I dare you, I double dare you, the next time you get up in the morning, I dare you not to go back to sleep. I dare you to get up and I dare you to chase your dreams. Because beast mode makes more money than average does. We're not gonna wait. We're gonna do work. We're gonna put in work. Because every time you put in work, you get the same consequences. You get paid. You get rewarded. Your mind wants to go to a nice spot where you're comforted, which is easy. It doesn't want to think. You have all these things in the mind, and the mind can only absorb so much. So all the pain it has to go to, it wants to push it away, so let's not do that. So every day I'm fighting with the mind that wants to go. I've never arrived. You have to live that way. You need to be in a spot that's hungry. Work out every day. Better yourself every day. Suffer. Go back to a spot that's not so comfortable for you. What did you do today to get uncomfortable? What did you do today? I don't give a fuck what you did 20 years ago. If you can get through these different barriers and gain 2%, 3%, 5%, that 40% becomes 60. That 60% becomes 70, 80, and 90. And then you're hopefully one day near 100. You got to come out your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is the deadliest place you will ever be. If you don't grow, you're dying. If you do not expand your business, expand your life, expand your mind, if you don't push to grow, you're dying. You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. You should double your business, triple it, because the attempt to get more makes you into something better. If you can find a way to push through pain, there's something great on the other side of it. And until you come out your comfort zone, you will never touch a certain level of greatness. If you stay stuck in your comfort zone will keep you living a mediocre life. You want to touch fine things in life? Leave your comfort zone. You're going to be intentional. You're going to be deliberate. You're going to be strategic. That means that there's not a day that's going to go by. There's not an hour that's going to go by. There's not a minute that's not going to go by that is not accounted for. I'm not talking about putting forth effort because your coach told you to. I'm not talking about doing your homework or coming to class on time and sitting up front and giving 120% in the class for your teacher. No. I'm not talking about your boss. We're not talking about outside no more. Now we're talking about an inside job. I'm talking about putting forth effort for self-pride, self-respect. I'm talking about doing it for you. I'm talking about at the end of the day, you being able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm proud of myself. You do it for you. You need to be able to step back and look at your work and say, it is good. You want to feel good about yourself because you put forth every single fiber, every single effort that you have, you putting it forth.
Every champion has felt it. Every king has felt it. Every winner has felt it. Every soldier has felt it. Every victorious person has felt it. The urge to quit. I don't care if you don't have the money, you don't have the help, and you don't have the family for it, and you don't have the friends for it. Don't you give up on your dream.
I want you to hold on. It may not happen in the time that you think is going to happen, but I want you to know something. If you quit, it's never going to happen. If you quit, if you give up, if you stop, if you do not persevere, you will never see it.
See, the thing is, for many people, they've tried the same path you're on, and they failed. As you walk this journey, you're going to see carcasses all over the place of people that didn't quite have it. That should inspire you because you got further than that person and that person. But you're not looking to get further than them, you're looking to finish.
I didn't get here through academics. I got here because I refused to quit. I said, I've been through enough pain, I got to get a reward for it.
So often, the key is that we just keep running. We stay positive, and we never give up. Life is not a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a series of sprints combined with a boxing match. We're not just running, but we're getting hit along the way. And here's the key. Our optimism is a competitive advantage. Our belief, our positivity.
Why are we afraid of bloodshed? It might have to be some. It might have to be some crime and some separation and some letting go. It's okay.
All of these things that are happening to me right now, they're just temporary inconveniences. They're not stronger than I am. I'm in charge here.
Too often you have a dream of creating this or getting involved with there, but at the end of the day, sometimes this fear of will I fail, will I make it, will I achieve it, the challenge is learning to punch that fear right in its mouth. I'm talking about the fear of that voice in the back of your head that makes you think that you can't. And you know what? Maybe you'll make a mistake, but you're failing forward. The thing that we have to continue to passionately, uncompromisably not give in on is the fact that I'm not staying stagnant. I'm moving forward because what I feed will grow and what I starve will die.
Every time you're doing what you're supposed to do and it don't look like it's supposed to look, and people get in your ear, and all of a sudden you don't feel comfortable no more, and you feel under pressure. Instead of you going in the pocket and being who you're supposed to be, you start running another way. Why you keep crying about pushing through obstacles? Listen, you got put through that because what that does, that tension produces greatness. You fight on the street, but when your teacher give you a math test, now you want to punk out. Somebody tell you to write a 5-page paper, now you scared. Don't back up on no test. You approach the test the same way you approach somebody who approach you on the streets. You don't quit, you don't give up, you don't run. Stop running from it and run to it. Stop telling me what you're going through. The greats, they get to it, they go through it. Stop running and face it. And the harder it is, the better.
Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Don't try and stop and pull people out the race to come look at blood dripping down your face. Don't feel sorry for yourself and try and organize a pity party. The sharks are part of the program. It's necessary that you develop stickability, that you take a stand, that you dig in. It's necessary to know there are going to be some difficult times, that when you are in transition, there's going to be a drop in your energy. You're going to be tired. That's why it's so important that when you get up in the morning, when your feet hit the ground, you stand up, getting up. All right, life, I'm ready for you. I'm fortifying my myself. I'm meditating. I'm reading my goals. I know it's possible, and I know it's necessary that I put my stuff to the test. So I'm coming out here. I know I'm going to have to take some blows to find out how strong I am. Can I stand up? I know I'm going to experience some rejection and disappointment. I know I'm going to have some cash flow problems, some relationship problems. I know there are going to be some hard decisions to make. I know there are going to be some moments when I don't know what to do. The things are going to be so uncertain that I'm going to feel overwhelmed and feel like I can't handle it. I know I'm going to experience all of that. Why? It's necessary. It's a part of life. All of that will create you into a certain kind of person. That as you go through that experience, what you become in the process, the goal itself will be anticlimactic. You'll discover a part of you that you did not know was there.
So you can look yourself in the mirror with respect.
To every person in this room who's had a struggle, who's had some pains, who's had some tests, who's got some creative ideas, but you've gone through some really tough stuff.
Whatever you do, don't lose your head. Pull your feelings out of it. Your emotions, your negative thoughts, your insecurities, your vulnerabilities.
Do not allow these things to control the trajectory of your life.
If you are going to birth your dream, your calling, your passion, you can't draw back when life gets tough. You've got to stand up to it and push.
Push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
The stuff you've been through, don't pay it any attention.
If you start something, you're gonna finish it. Make a way. Figure it out, adjust, pivot, have a certain level of mental agility, and get it done. Keep going. Press on. This too shall pass. There's nothing that we come up against that's stronger than anything that we possess internally.
The world is not giving you what you deserve because you don't think you deserve it. And you need to change your mindset. Why are you timid? Why are you passive? Why are you afraid?
There are those of you in this room, you don't need another book. You don't need another course. There are those of you in this room, you don't need to do anything else. You are enough as you are. You just don't believe in yourself in the way you're supposed to believe in yourself, and it comes out when you're talking to other people. They sense that you don't believe it. They feel it. You can feel when somebody's not committed, when they're not all in, when they're not dedicated. And there's another level you get to when you go all in. When you come to an engagement and you speak as if you're making the most you've ever made when you're not. When you get up at 6 when you don't have to. And if you change your mindset is important because we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them. You better change the way you think. All you need to do is change your thinking and you change your world. You don't need to change anything else. Don't complain. Don't murmur. Don't talk negative. Average people talk normal. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions. Average people use their time to whine and complain. But I used to be average. And while I would talk like that, I ended up getting kicked out of school. And while I talked like that, I was broke. And then one day I woke up and said, Eric, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to get you, but you can go to the library and get yourself. You can start reading books. You can go back to school. You can start coming to conferences.
There's something that you could do that would radically change your life. Somebody could take the hand you've been dealt and win with it. Same circumstances, same ideas. They would do it through what they thought about your life. But we don't need somebody because we got you. You are the one. I haven't had my best idea yet. I haven't had my most creative moment yet. I haven't produced my dream yet. I don't care whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. There's something down inside of you that's still kicking inside of you that wants to get out and it wants to live.
I want you to leave this room and embrace challenges. Stop quitting and giving up.
If it's hard, keep on coming back again. If folk oppose you, come on back again. Run out of money? Come back again. Keep working on yourself. Keep talking to yourself. Many start, but few finish. Few people finish because they say, well, it was hard, and they stop. They take that as a stop sign as opposed to a growth sign. They look at that as something to block them as opposed to an opportunity for them to grow, to become more creative.
All roads to success, you gotta go through pain. When you travel down success, you gotta go through the road of pain, baby. If you think it's gonna be easy, if you think you just gonna get that business started without any trials or tribulations, forget about it. Don't even try to be successful. It's a wrap. It's not going to be easy, but I want you to feel that pain going through your body. And as pain leaves your body, guess what's going to take its place? Success. And so you got to change your mindset. We got to stop looking at pain as if it's something negative. No pain, no gain.
Confidence makes you run toward the fight. When you don't have confidence, it makes you run away. So it doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter the degrees you have. It doesn't matter how much money. It doesn't matter. Without confidence, there are certain things in this earthly realm you can't pull off. When you have fear, fear makes you speak in a certain way. When you have fear, but when you have faith, you don't need to count. When you have faith, you don't need to go outside. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many horses. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many armies. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many swords. When you have faith, you don't need to count no shields. When you have faith, you don't need to look at the parameter and see how many against. When you have faith, you just believe and it'll happen.
As you're going through your go-through, you ready to quit, you ready to give up, you ready to give in, because it don't look like you think it should look. And I'm telling you right now, because I care about you. I'm telling you right now, because I've been there. I've done that. You've been in it for 3 years and you about to quit. Bro, you've been doing it for 5 years and it don't look like you think. You put all your money in it. You put all your time in it. People are looking at you crazy. 5 years you've invested. Oh, you put too much in it to quit now? Oh, it doesn't look like you think. You didn't get the grades you thought you were going to get. So maybe I'm not meant to be a lawyer. Oh, most people retreat during the pain. Are broken by the pain. But gladiators approach the pain, embrace the pain, and dominate the pain. The question is, are you a gladiator? I guarantee you, if you can outlast pain, if you can get through that pain, if you can outlast that discomfort, I guarantee you, baby, on the other side of it is success.
Small daily acts of improvement, when done consistently over time, lead to staggering results.
Some of y'all soft. There's no better word for it. You're soft. You want to be a champion, but you don't want to work like a champion. Show up. A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work.
The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off when someone's watching. It's constant.
Every single one of you has an opportunity every single day to make these small daily acts of excellence, optimization, and creativity that will ultimately build a life of greatness. How do you build a great company? It's not by revolution, it's by evolution. How do you build a legendary life? It's about what you do every single day with utter consistency that over time creates mastery.
If you go to the gym and you work out and you come back and you look in the mirror, you will see nothing. And if you go to the gym the next day and you come back and you look in the mirror, you will see nothing. So clearly there's no results, can't be measured, it must not be effective. So we quit. Or if you fundamentally believe that this is the right course of action and you stick with it, I'm not exactly sure what day, but I know you'll start getting into shape.
You will never pick up any momentum because you keep doing something different every single day. You have to find a routine and stick with it. If you hit a tree 1,000 times in 1,000 different spots, there's no guarantee it's gonna fall. But if you hit a tree 1,000 times in that same exact spot, she gonna come to the ground. Your problem is you did hit it 1,000 times, but in 1,000 different places. Stop trying to be deep. I need you to do the exact same thing every single day for the next 10, 15, 20 years and watch that tree come down. Every single day, stick with it. Don't rush the process, trust the process. Don't rush the process, trust the process. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. Get that one thing you're good at. Get that one thing you're passionate at and stick with it. Stop starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping. If you master one thing, if you get there, I'm telling you, you can have what you want.
You can screw it up. You can skip a day or two.
Yeah, out of 365 days, you're gonna have a bad day or two, but I'm trying to tell you, the strength is in the routine.
What are you supposed to do when you fall off the path like that? What action should you take? Should you sit there and dwell and think about it forever? No. When you fall off the path, what you do is you get right back on the path. The path of responsibility, hard work, and sacrifice. The path of discipline, humility, and ownership that ultimately leads to freedom. You think things are gonna just go your way? Well, they're not gonna just go your way. You think things are gonna just happen for you? Well, they're not just gonna happen for you. You gotta make them happen.
You do whatever it takes. You have to eat the dream. You have to sleep the dream. You have to dream the dream. You have to see it when nobody else sees it. You have to feel it when it's not tangible. You have to believe it when you cannot see it. You gotta be possessed with the dream. And every single day, you gotta wake up and put forth effort. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you gotta push your grind up to match your dream. I need you to pick your grind up. I need you to pick your grind up. There's nothing wrong with your dream. You have a great dream, but your grind does not affect your dream.
You gotta build that momentum. Sometimes it ain't about being the most talented. Sometimes it ain't about being the smartest. Sometimes it's not even about working the hardest. Sometimes it's about consistency. Just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and never stop. You never give up and never quit. Day after day, play after play, second after second.
When you get to a place where you work and you take your work serious and you put some consistency with your work, when you put so much time in, so much effort in, that what happens is your work starts to work for you. The effort that you put forth, the things that you do, because of the work you put in, things just start happening for you.
It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. Stay predictable. Stay consistent.
And when you embrace the grind will reward you.
The process of getting better and becoming the best at what it is that you do is painful. It's excruciating. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. And there's a reason why there is the phrase growing pains. Losers want to be coddled. They want to be comfortable. Winners want to be pushed and put through the pain because they know that going through that pain is going to produce the best possible product in themselves. So which one of these people are you? Are your feelings so delicate and so sensitive that you're going to let you getting your little delicate feelings hurt get in the way of becoming what it is you wish to become? Or do you say, you know what, ego, there's no pain, there's no gain? Which one of those people are you? Because I can tell you one is going to always be average and one is going to always end up being elite.
In order to get a breakthrough, no breaks. You gotta grind. You gotta go through setbacks and disappointments. You gotta go through it. So it's not gonna be easy, but I'd rather take my breakthrough than to take a break. I need you to power through it. I need you to pray through it. I need you to encourage yourself through it. I need you to do whatever it takes. Because if you don't take a break, I promise you, your breakthrough is coming.
With success, many will love you. The majority will despise you. And why is that? Because your success is shining down their missed opportunities. When they did it put all those thousands of hours in the lab with no one watching. So when the opportunity did come to show off what they've mastered and trained, they weren't ready for it. They were in self-control state and they watched it go live, hoping it comes again. I don't know if it comes again.
What do you do about the negative person talking behind your back and trying to bring you down? Ignore and outperform.
Use it for fuel. Use it for energy.
You got to block out them haters, man. You got to block out them naysayers.
Use everything this world has to give you for fuel.
So I want some action. That means when you wake up in the morning, there's 24 hours in a day. After you finish sleeping, I'm telling you to spend the rest of that time in action. And you're going to separate yourself from everybody. Why? Because most people, all they doing is talk.
You don't get to be number one by doing just enough. You gotta have a level of dedication that no one else is willing to have. And you gotta want it more than anyone else does.
If a person leaves at 6, you leave at 8. If a person makes 100 calls a day, you make 200 calls a day. If somebody practices 3 hours, you practice 5 hours. If somebody practices 6 hours, you practice 8 hours. If someone reads 2 books, you read 4 books. Just do a little bit more.
You are going against the cultural norm of average, the cultural norm of sitting up, the cultural norm of all of this average. When you go against that, you are going to naturally have resistance.
We have 80% more that we're not tapping into, because in this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you gotta go through all of this.
If you really want your dream to become a reality, you need to give it up and go all in. And you are not here because you are still not all in. When you give effort, don't give no 70% later. You give 120%. Extreme effort. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. You're not giving 120. You're giving 60. You're giving 50. And you won't with these people who've given sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears. You want what they paid for, and it ain't free. When I put forth 120% effort, can't nobody stop me. You can't be good and be a legend. You can't be great and be a legend. You gotta be phenomenal. I want you to push for legend. Your problem is, if the conditions are great, you great.
When everything is favorable, you a beast. But when the conditions ain't right, you get smacked in the face. You gotta grow up.
You tell someone about the greats, we find a way to make it happen.
The hard life is the one that pays. You just gotta quit being so fucking weak.
You gotta be a morning person, afternoon person, night person. You gotta be when you feel good person, when you sick person, when you tired person.
Can you give me 120 and despite everything that's going on, greatness is in you. But the problem is, somebody's gotta push you. Somebody's gotta give you a reward. Somebody's gotta prod you. You're not self-motivated. You have to stay in beast mode. You don't get here by quitting when you're tired. You get here by quitting when you finish, when you're done. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Every single day, if you do what you said you're gonna do, you're gonna get what you dreamed to get. You gotta execute. You gotta execute. Execution is worship. If you want 120% results, then in every single area you're looking for this dream or this goal to become a reality, you gotta put forth the effort. I didn't get here being lazy. I didn't get here binge watching TV. I didn't get here taking days off. I didn't get here off being smart. I didn't get here being talented. I got here off that dome. I never quit. I never stopped. I never gave up. We just kept doing what we doing. You got skill and you got will. Two total different things. You were born with certain things, but to get to the next level, to stay at the next level, you gotta have will. You have to compete. Every single game, you can give the same effort every game. This has everything to do with pride. You gotta take pride in that.
Your level of urgency and effort will dictate the level of changes you'll see.
Each level of hustle, of will, of action, of work is going to get you to a certain level, and then you're going to require more. It's going to take you evolving. You're going to have to expand. You're going to have to think differently. You're going to have to do different things. You're going to have to put in more work. You're going to have to read more. You're going to have to educate yourself more. You're going to have to do things that are going to help you create a new you.
See, it's easy to be on the bottom. It doesn't take any effort to be a loser. It doesn't take any motivation, any drive in order to stay down there on a low level. But it calls on everything in you, ladies and gentlemen. You have to harness your will to say, I'm going to challenge myself.
Now I just want you to go a little harder, put forth a little bit more energy, give me a little bit more effort. You keep going. You keep studying. You keep writing. You keep singing. You keep rapping. You keep boxing. You keep dribbling. You just keep on keeping on. It's your life. You are the captain of your ship. You are the master of your life. You can have it. You can do it. You can be it.
Make a list, execute the list, do that every single day for the next 10 years, and you will be where you want to be.
Some of y'all soft. There's no better word for it. You're soft. You want to be a champion, but you don't want to work like a champion. I dare you to give 120% and stop choking. The good part of you know you can go to school and get a 4.0. The lazy part saying we ain't getting up today. Stop calling other people haters and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm hating on me.
You're going to have to commit at another level to discipline because fruit only comes through consistency. Without discipline, you're available for attack all the time. Without discipline, you're indoctrinated with insecurity. Without discipline, you're overwhelmed by anxiety. Without discipline, you're not prepared for the future. There's got to be some type of discipline attached to whatever you want deliverance in.
And to get to the next level of success, you can't just have energy when you got energy. You're gonna have to learn to be disciplined.
Your mind will always choose the path of least resistance. We have to train our minds to choose the path of most resistance.
You will get tougher every time you push through. You build strength, not just physical strength, mental strength, tenacity, will. You're not just born with will. You create it, you develop it through effort. And every time you put forth effort, your will, your discipline becomes stronger. And every time you quit, your will and your discipline gets weaker. Do not allow that. You cannot allow that. Every rep counts, not just in the weight room, but in life.
And so I'm looking at the clock and I'm saying, technically, you can go back to sleep, technically. But if you go back to sleep, you might not wake up to 3:30. You might not wake up to 4 o'clock. And if you wake up at 4 o'clock for 30 minutes of sleep, you might be pushing your goals back a week, a month, an entire year by sleeping for 2 hours because you missed an opportunity. You gotta wake up every day and you gotta go get it. Execution is not something that we do, it's something that we are. And most of us aren't disciplined. Because if you don't have personal discipline, you'll never get to the next level. If another human can tell you to get up and go to work and do what you're supposed to do, you be that human. Your mind is the most important thing you have, and you gotta control it. You gotta move you every single day.
It doesn't matter how I'm doing. It doesn't matter how I slept last night. It doesn't matter how I feel. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. Don't care. Go through the motions. Get it done. Don't voluntarily do anything tomorrow that you should be getting done today. Get it done today. You gotta get control of your brain. Control the things you think about. You can actually control how you feel. You can control what you think. And you can definitely control what you do. You gotta be the master of your mind.
You have got to suffer to grow. And that starts by not hitting the snooze button. It starts by waking up. No, you don't want to do it, but that gives you the strength because you did it. If you do something you don't want to do every morning, you're already giving yourself the proper dialogue to attack your insecurities, to attack what the world's going to give you. You have to attack. You have to keep attacking. If you keep on attacking something, nothing wants to stand in front of anything that is relentless. The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul of whatever is in front of you.
All of us can go buy a car, but all of us can't get up in the morning and grind. You gotta win in the dark before you can win in the light.
I want to win the war in the morning. I clean my room, I clean my house, I go for a run, I work out. Because the second I leave my house, the second you look at your phone, the second you turn the TV on, you're in a battle. All this negativity is coming at you. But if you're able to fuel yourself in the morning, win the war in the morning, so you have the strength to face what you're going to face in the world.
Discipline is doing what you said you were gonna do when you don't feel like doing it, when you felt like doing it in the first place. You gotta discipline yourself, and you gotta learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it. Because out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are gonna be days you don't wanna work out. There's gonna be days that you don't wanna practice. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game. You're gonna wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're gonna wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals.
Are you gonna get burned out? Yeah, I get burned out, but that doesn't mean I don't still do the thing I need to do. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you feel like. It doesn't matter how frustrated or angry or depressed or upset you are. All that matters is that you do what needs to be done on a daily basis over and over and over again. And if you do that and it gets done, you're gonna feel a lot fucking better about your life than you do right now. How you feel about your life at the end of your time here is going to come down to your ability to cultivate discipline. It's going to come down to you developing the ability to do the things that you don't feel like doing because you know that it's the right thing to do.
Don't put forth half effort unless you're okay with half results.
unless you're okay with not making 6 figures or 7 figures, unless you're okay with losing, then keep giving the effort you putting forth.
To be successful is never convenient. The things that you have to go through is never convenient.
And the reason why some of you can give me 120 on Monday, because everything look good on Monday. Like, you're excited. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna change the world. I'm gonna do this for this person. I'm gonna buy this for my mom and my children. I'm gonna put them through school. And you got all these great dreams. And then you get up in the morning and life punch you in your face.
As long as it's a perfect day, you operate in excellence. But as soon as the circumstances change, you quit, you give up.
Because we all gonna hit that wall. We're all gonna hit opposition. We're all gonna hit adversity. But I think we all know at the core, it's never about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to it. You can control that.
In the midst of escalating levels of anxiety provoked by today's increasing complexity and accelerating change, the thing that any leader or successful person must have is resiliency. The ability to bounce back in the face of every challenge, every opposition, every failure, every setback. And the key is never, ever, ever give up. I need effort from you. I need you to match whatever effort the enemy is putting up. Whoever your enemy is, match the doggone effort. When you get out there, I need you kill or be killed when you get out there. We ain't playing no more. We ain't taking no prisoners no more. When you get out there, whatever you can get, go get it. Because they gonna get it before you get it. And they ain't gonna give it to you. So you go out there and get what's yours. Ain't nobody out there giving you your personal freedom. If you're going to get your personal freedom, they ain't giving it away. You gotta go get it. You gotta go earn it.
Test days come. They come over and over and over again. The purpose of these days is so that you can prove to yourself, not the rest of the world, that you are the kind of person that possesses the mental fortitude, the grit, the toughness, the perseverance, the discipline to get things done regardless of what the situation is. And if you become this kind of person who can get things done regardless of what's going on, regardless of what's going on in the economy, regardless of what's going on in your personal life, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the weather, how can you be stopped by anything? You cannot.
What you fighting for? What's your legacy? What you gonna do? You say you a champ, but do you practice like a champ? You say you a champ, do you fight like a champ? You say you a champ, do you have the mentality of a champ? I'm so strong mentally that when I get tired, that's when I get that dog. That's when I'm ready to go. You gotta start thinking I'm the grittiest in the world. Not only do I climb that doggone mountain, I enjoy climbing the mountain. I get a kick out the mountain. I get a kick out the weights. I get a kick out of fatigue. I get a kick out of the grind. I get a kick out of it. There's an adaptation process that goes into mental hardening. The body has to know you're not around with it. The adaptation process comes into suffering, comes to the things you don't want to do.
It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money, when all your energy gone, when you have nothing left, that's when it's showtime.
That you're always looking for a way to get over, always looking for a way that you can break through, always looking for a way that you can win, always looking for a way that you can strike a telling blow.
When you find a way out of no way, when you find breath that you don't have, when you find energy that did not exist, that's when you find a way.
If you guys mentally believe you can do it, your body will find a way to make it happen for you.
Because sometimes you'll get hurt and you gotta be able to bounce back. You gotta be resilient. You might pass the test on the 4th try, not the 1st, not the 2nd, not the 3rd, and you gotta have the ability to get back up and act like you ain't never failed in the first place. You're not average. Why you being average? You not average. Why you being good when you not good? You great. You phenomenal. When you gonna step up to the plate?
You gotta build a level of excellence about yourself that stands the test of time, and no matter what happens in front of you, you are character true. I know who you are because you're the same person in adversity, in victory, in defeat. You're the same.
Beast mode is I will not stop when others stop. I will not quit when it gets hard. I will not complain. I will not worry. I will find a way when there is no way. I will make a door when there is no door. I will create finance when there is no finance. I will find an opportunity when it doesn't exist. But I will not be defeated.
We're all faced with a time of challenge and controversy. Adversity causes some cats to break and other cats to break records.
There's times where you're gonna have to do it alone. There's not gonna be any team support. There's not gonna be any family support. There's not going to be friend support. There's going to be times where you've got to go and do it yourself, and you got to do it alone. And those are the times that make a difference. Those are the times that count. Those are the times where you have to dig deep yourself to get the job done.
And the type of commitment that I'm speaking of is the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left.
Because there's some things you just can't get without perseverance. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you.
And the difference between winners and losers is how we adjust to these hard times. Winners, they understand that the path they've chosen is going to have resistance. They look at it as, well, yeah, I'm tested today, and you know what? I'm gonna pass that test. And whenever they have the hard thing that happens, and then they overcome it, they gain more confidence because they overcame something that the previous version of themselves or the rest of everybody else would have just quit when it happened to them.
Things are going to get harder. Things are going to get tougher. That's the way life works. What you need to do is you need to get harder and you need to get tougher.
Nobody gave me this. I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network. I earned the network. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. Monday I grind. I ain't never give in. I just keep grinding. There's certain things when you're privileged that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I don't care where you come from, I want you to be the best at what you do. You don't need this, or that. All you need to be successful in this world is that dog. You gotta wake up every day and compete. You gotta go after it. Everybody said you don't read well enough. You're not a critical thinker. I'm not, but I'm a beast. You ain't gotta be smart when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you got that dog. You gonna have to play hurt. You gonna have to play when stuff is going on. It's a work that separates the boys from the men. Are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to put in the work? Stop whining, stop crying, stop asking. I want your work to go before you. Everybody want to be a beast till it's time to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody want to be number one till it's time to do what number one do. I'm about that life. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. When I want to get up, when I don't. When I feel like it and I don't feel like, why? Because I'm process driven. I'm not feelings driven. Champions are not feeling driven. Champions don't get up when they want to. There is a championship coordinate and you can't change that. You gotta be intentional and deliberate. You gotta decide that you're gonna do something and you gotta do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you was gonna do. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kid, and you realize, I gotta get up and make it happen, even though I don't wanna get up and make it happen. Set the standard, then raise the standard, then uphold the standard every single day. If you're not willing to do it every single day, you're not going to beat the man that's doing it every single day. Some of you like, that's too much. Well, you're not going to be a champion. You're going up against other champions? You think you're going to get 50%? You think you're going to get 70%? And you want what these people who's giving sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears, you want what they paid for, and it ain't free. I'm not the best. They better than me, but they have not outworked me. You might be taller than me. You might be bigger than me. You might be stronger than me, but I'm coming, and I'd rather die trying. I'd rather give everything I got. I'd rather give a year. I'd rather put in work and fail to not try it all. The real beast is the last 4 minutes. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing.